Good morning. Everyone loves mist, don't they? And today, I'm hoping that we've got loads. I'm by Derwent in Manesty Woods. I was here before. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it at the end. We've got fog, we've got mist, and potentially brilliant conditions. So let's see what we get. This is going to be day 3 of my road trip and the second episode of this little series. Let's go and see what we can find. So the first picture is actually just going to be this. I don't know whether it works, but I think with the white frame around it, and I think that might be a nice image. It might never see the light of day. I might be very embarrassed about it, but I'm going to shoot it anyway. And it's very, very different for me. Very monochromatic, even though this will be colour. See what you think about this. So I found a little group of trees I really like. They're a little bit too far away and then now the mist is hanging over them. But I found another silver birch to the right, which is quite an old one. It's kind of got 3 trunks, or at least 2, and it's kind of splayed out. The leaves on this don't look great, but there's some lovely little group in the background and another silver birch to the right of them. So I'm hoping to separate these 3 elements out. The main image for me is the 3 on the left, but don't work on their own. Right, let me have a look at this. I'll put the camera up and I'll try and show you. Right, so I'm photographing this. It actually looks quite nice. I think this is going to look good. As ever, I'm probably going to crop out the sky because it takes the eye straight out of the picture, but actually as a letterbox 65-24, I think this looks really good. I'm using f6.3, which is almost wide open, focused on this silver birch in the front. And the reason I'm doing that is it's just going to enhance this out of focus mistiness on the little group in the back. But I want you to notice the little group at the back because to me, that's almost the main joy of main draw of the photo. And that looks really lovely. We've also got a little bit of light grass on the foreground, which is underneath it, and kind of almost holding it in its hand, which I can emphasize a little bit in processing. But some little silver birches again even further back, so loads of depth to this 65-24. I think this is going to look really good, but you be the judge. This is a 15th of a second, f6.3, 64 ISO, in perfect peace and quiet. I'm really enjoying this. Conditions are flat, which is lovely, but could do with either a little bit more mist or a bit of light. But the fog that we're expecting, I think it's really high up, or it's just really heavy cloud. I mean, there's loads of fog across the top of the fells. Can't see much at all. So there's definitely here, but it's too high really. But we've got this dampness that's dropping down, which makes for good conditions. And I've come across this scene, which I definitely like. Again, with me, it's always a 65-24 crop. Get rid of the sky. But there's some lovely light on this silver birches here. We've got a fallen down bit and some nice little group to the right of it, which again I'm going to have just as my background a little bit. Won't be totally sharp. This big tree on the left here will be sharp, and it's then just about moving the camera so that we get a little bit of separation between the various branches here. There's almost, better show you it better with the final picture, so I'll talk about that in a second I think, but there's almost like a U shape that actually holds up the middle little bit, middle little group of silver birches. So I'll frame this up, shoot it, and then I might do a voiceover and show you what I'm talking about. It might be easier to see that there. Here is the final image, and that little U shape I was talking about on camera is just there holding up that little silver birch. And this and the other pictures in today's video have all been processed using Nik Color Effects, which is part of the Nik collection. DxO are a fantastic software company. I've been using it for years. If you want 15% off any DxO products, use the code DaveP15 at checkout. Videos about using the software coming up soon. I've been trying to compose this for about 10 minutes, just walking around, because there's another tree further up which looks really good, but I've got a fence in front of me, and the composition that I really like, unfortunately I get the fence in, but I might, don't know, I'm reluctant to Photoshop it out. I think it's part of the woodland, part of the Lake District, so it looks okay. It's not the worst fence ever. So there's a hole in one of the trees, so I've framed this up just to get separation. I've got holes in one of the tree at the back, which is probably where some owls roost, which I think looks beautiful. There's a little bit of light right in the distance. Might keep the sky in, don't know. It's all about the colours. That's it for here, really. I might shoot some more, in which case I'll put that on this little middle segment, and then what we'll do is I think we're off to the Manesty Park now to do some filming for Thumbs Up, and then I will get back to you when I'm shooting again. So I'm staying here overnight tonight. I'm also going to be around Monday and Tuesday, and we've got fog forecast for both days. So tomorrow morning a bit more relating, but I might come back here because I love Manesty Woods. It's so good. In which case, I'll see you in the morning. So sleep well. See you soon. Ta-da. Well, this is strange. Forecast said fog, heavy fog, and it's been saying it for days. And I'm at the River Brathay, actually, more accurately, I'm about by Elterwater, and I'll tell you more about why I'm here in a sec, but not a bit of fog, not even slightly misty. I was hoping for mist laying in the River Brathay, and I was actually thinking it might get too much because I want to photograph the Langdales in the back over Elterwater, and I was actually worried we'd have too much fog and wouldn't be able to see anything, but look, nothing. Now the reason I'm here, which I've just hinted at, I've been down the River Brathay now about 3 times. It's my 4th visit. There's always fog in here, but I've done the classic shot a few times, which I really enjoy doing, and I wanted to get something a little bit different. And when I was here last time, there were lots of photographers here at Elterwater, and I didn't want to get anybody's way. I did photograph a couple of sheets of FB4 on large format, which if I get them ready in time I'll put up, but I doubt they'll be ready for you. But I thought there must be potentially some good images from here, so I've actually been walking around the lake. I've been here really early, camped up the top of the hill in the camper van, over some end of the fells by the village, actually further along. Was woken about 3 o'clock in the morning by something leaning against the van and bang and scuttling around outside, so I stick my head out and it was a load of sheep. But they cuddled up by the van because I think they felt they were warmer, but that was fine. So me and the sheep this morning got up about 6 o'clock and just drove down the road, parked up, and I've been around Elterwater, but the problem is once you get further past this point you can't get to the shoreline. So this is it. Now there's a photographer here already. I don't want to disturb him. There were 2 people on the bench when I arrived. I didn't want to disturb them, but I found this little composition here which is kind of working, and we've got a little bit of colour in the sky. So let me show you this composition and we'll see what you think. Well, this is not really what I was expecting. There is a little bit of mist in the distance, but it's low cloud really, I would say. Not really a bit of mist at all. Very, very surprised. Just spoke to a guy called Steve who said exactly the same thing. Yeah, everyone expecting mist, and there's always mist in the River Brathay. Today, nothing. But Elterwater looks beautiful. Such a lovely, calm day. I've done a couple of different compositions. One with the grasses that you saw. Another one I got into the river with my wellies on, which I brought in today. Photographing a rock, just playing with the composition, taking about 10 different shots. Polarizer, just moving the reflection about so it looks quite good. I love to look at the reeds and stuff. It looks really nice. Got really, really close, about 15, 16 mil. This one again, there's lots of lovely rocks in here, which can look messy. They can actually block the eye, so if you get rocks and then the water, but if you can find a shape that works, and this kind of does, it does actually lead the eye into the picture. So for me, the key is to get low down here so that we cut out this middle section of lake. All I want really is a reflection of the clouds just to rest above the rocks. So we've got rocks, a little bit of water, cloud, still clouds, sky, kind of it, and the mountains are the backdrop, which look lovely. It's a slight ripple in the water, so just kind of use a long-ish exposure. That will just get rid of that. But this looks really nice. It's been a beautiful morning. There's about 5 photographers here, as there always is at the River Brathay, I guess, but it's just a beautiful, quiet day. We've got the panda cows over here. I'll show you them in a second. They've just literally come in and had a drink right in front of a guy's composition. But they're beautiful. Yeah, Steve Staten calls them pandas. But just official, obviously they're not. Right, I'll show you the pandas, then I'll show you the picture. Not sure which one you prefer. I think it's definitely the pandas for me, every single time. Beautiful creatures. And this is the classic view from Elterwater. I just wish those rocks were a little bit more rugged. They look a little bit like lumps of clay. But even so, a beautiful morning. And hi Steve, if you're watching, who came and said hello. This is my favourite image from the shoot, I'd say though. I really love those grasses. They work so well. Now, everything you've seen today has been processed in DxO Photolab 9 and then finished off in Nik Effects, and actually the color effects module, which I really, really enjoy. I'm going to do some processing tutorials on this, and you'll see those over in my members area if you want to join. This was very much inspired by Thomas Gainsborough. I really hope you like this effect. If you want to get 15% off any DxO product, doesn't apply to upgrades, use the code DaveP15 for 15% off. Cracking images to come. Hope you can stay tuned for that. See you next Sunday at 6. And for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Ta-da.